What's up? I wanted to use some natural light today. Today, we're reviewing the new movie Caught Stealing, directed by Darren Aronofsky. This movie has a pretty stacked cast, so bear with me for a second. First, and by far and away the most important actor in this movie is Tonic, who plays Bud the Cat. Then you've got Austin Butler, Zoe Kravitz, Regina King, Matt Smith, Liev Schreiber, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Bad Bunny. As always, we'll start off with the no spoiler section. I've only seen a few of Darren Aronofsky's films, the most recent being The Whale. I know that his movies are pretty dark and depressing for the most part. Caught Stealing was a lot better than I expected it to be. I wasn't aware of how stacked the cast would end up being. The entire cast gave excellent performances, especially the cat. I wasn't super familiar with Austin Butler's game. I know that he has gotten some bad flack online for kind of being one of those guys who's trying to be like a method actor. I especially saw this blow up after Elvis came out. The most recent thing I saw him in was Eddington, which I thought he did a pretty good job in. But in this movie, he was excellent. The story for this movie was really good, and it was also interesting and kept my attention. There were some familiar elements that I'd definitely seen before in other movies, but it was still a fun time. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the spoiler section of this video, so if you haven't seen it yet, make sure you skip to the last chapter. I think the setting of this movie was really cool. There's something about 90s New York City that is just so interesting. Austin Butler did a really good job as Hank, and I truly appreciated the performance that he gave here. I also think that Hank was just a well-written character, from dealing with his alcoholism to his past regrets and the avoidance of issues. His character was just a flawed human being. But beyond just having well-written characters, I do think that this movie was just well written overall. The story is told in 3 distinct acts that are all laid out perfectly, and it's brought to life by all of the actors' performances. Something that I notice about this movie that I don't really see in a lot of these kind of crime thrillers is that the stakes here actually felt real. The film did a really good job of kind of setting up the relationship between Hank and Yvonne and making you kind of feel the love between these characters before abruptly killing Yvonne off. And once that happened, the audience then realizes, oh shoot, who else can they kill? There was a lot of great action sequences in this one. I think that some of the chase scenes were done really well. But besides the crime thriller action movie, there was a lot of comedic moments in this too. I think Matt Smith as Russ was a really fun and silly character that had me laughing at some points. I love how the shorter Russian mobster was, for some reason, crawling on the floor like a rabid dog the entire time. Even with him being such a small dude, he was so violent and so scary just because of how crazy he was. And the Hebrews were hilarious. I really appreciated that Vincent D'Onofrio and Liev Schreiber, who are normally really serious actors, were just a couple of goofy guys in this movie. I think the resolution of this film was actually quite satisfying. Really, I think the whole third act was put together very well. This whole movie, you have Hank trying to get out of this situation he's found himself in and ends up having to rely on guys that he knows are bad, but for him to still find a way out of that situation was really great. I do want to call out that as soon as I saw the Hebrews not put their seatbelts on, I kind of knew it was over for them. And I do like that all the bad guys in this movie kind of got what was coming to them. And then of course I love the ending where Hank and Bud the cat get what is essentially a happy ending, or as happy as it can be for them. And also shout out to Laura Dern, who made a cameo at the end of this one. I was a bit sad that my theater was pretty empty at the showing that I went to. I feel like a larger crowd would have reacted better to some of the hilarious moments and also violent moments that happened in this film. I think this one was a great change of pace for Aronofsky. He's already a great filmmaker, and this makes me even more excited for whatever he does next. I had a really fun time with this one, and I'm already planning on trying to force some people to go watch it again with me. I gave this one a 4.5 on Letterboxd. Were any of you guys surprised by this one as well? I had seen the trailer once or twice, but I didn't really expect much from it. However, I'm really glad that it was as fun as it was, and I feel like I'm going to be rewatching it over and over again once it releases digitally. If there are any of you that did not like this film, let me know what you thought and what specifically didn't work for you. As always, I appreciate those of you that watched to the end of this video, and make sure you argue with me in the comments.